Hello again. So we're getting to the end of this. The end is the integration. So we need to make all of the things talk to each other. Now, if we go and have a look at the original project, so we have built this Mr. String service. We have created the text analytics service. We're now just going to have a small, very simple UI. Now, I already made that, and that UI is here. And it's very simple. I'll just show it to you. So it's very simple. We're going to write the text in here so people can go and provide their input text. And the profile will be shown here. So this is a very simple application. So as you can see, there's just a few divs with inputs that you can use. And here is the environment. So the environment as well is extremely simple. As you can see, the web page is calling itself. And this is what the button is doing. And the button is taking the input value from the div called input, from the text area called input. And then it's going to send it into this function, which is the analyze function. And this is just going to call a web service. Now, as you can see, the web service is /.analyze, means that it's calling the local host. And that means that it's basically calling a service that is placed in the same machine. Why we do this? Because a web page should not ever call anyone else except for the service or the machine that is running on. So that means that this website is hosted on a machine which will have the capability to make the call. So let's have a look at that. This is the call. So this is our simple, very simple endpoint to do that. So it's on /analyze, and we're doing what we have done so far. But there's a few things that have changed, and I'll explain them to you now. Because this is the backend, we can't use jQuery here, so we have to use some other techniques, some other packages. So to make a call, we use a package which is an inbuilt package, so it's part of Node. We don't have to go and install another one, and it's called request. So this is a package to actually run requests from the backend. This is the request itself. So this function is a function that basically gets a text from the web page, and it does a number of things. First of all, because this is happening in the backend, we have to do a number of things. If we just get the text, it will not work because the text will have empty spaces. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to encode it in URI format. So what this will do is we'll take the entire text, and everywhere there is an empty space, it will put that percentage 20 to indicate there is an empty space there. And then let's see. So this is the object that we're calling. And if you look at it, this is nothing more than just the complete string. The complete string that you would put in your web browser. And then here, we are actually making the call. So when we make the call, we're actually making the call to our second service. So let's have a look at that. So what's going to happen is this page, the web server here, will take the text and we'll send it to Mr. Shrink. Mr. Shrink Mr. Shrink will send it to the text analysis, and the text analysis will send it to its own services. When this comes back, text analysis will send it back to Mr. Shrink. Mr. Shrink will update the database, and then finally will return it back to the web page. So we follow the same structure for all the other ones as well. So let's have a look. So this is going to make a call to Mr. Shrink, and then let's go and have a look at how Mr. Shrink actually work. Mr. Shrink is here. So I made a few changes from what we had before, and that's because what we want to do is we want to save the document after we have done the analysis. So we want to do it all in the same place. So when we analyze, one thing that we have to do is, because we're now going to send the text to another service, we need to do the encode once again. So we get the text from the web page that just sent it to us. We encode it once again, so we put the empty spaces in between. And then we take it and we send it to the analysis. So as you can see, this is a different address once again, and it's going to analyze it. So what we're saying here as well is, once you get this back, once the analysis comes back, we're going to do two things. First of all, we're going to create a document or an object which will contain two things. One is the original text. The other one is the analysis, which has just come back. So that is the first thing. And we're going to add it to the database. So I'm going to enable that. So this, I'm going to write it here just to make it more clear. Add the object to the database. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is send back to the original caller. So that should solve the problem now. And just before we go any further, I'm going to show you the text analysis as well. There you go. And here we have done almost no changes, I believe. Nope. So this is all the same. So these are remain the same. So this one gets the text, will analyze it, and then it sends it back. The one thing that we did change though is that when we pass the text, we also pass the response message. So if we go look into this now, if we look at the analyze function, which is up here, we are passing the entire thing. We are passing the response, and we send it back to Mr. Shrink. So let's follow it up on the diagram. So this, I'm going to write it here. It's going to send text. This guy is going to send text as well to the text analytics. This guy is going to send the text once again. So I'm going to write 1, 2, and 3. Now the natural language processing will send back the analysis. So that will go back to the text analytics services. The text analytics services will then send it back again. And then what's going to happen here is two things, 6 and 7. 6, save text and analysis onto DB. 7, return analysis to user. So these are all the steps that we have taken so far. So let's go back in here. so everything should work. Let's have a look. We can give it a go. Just gonna reload it to be sure. I need some text. Let's take the poem that we used before. I'm just gonna copy it. Don't need all of it. Okay, so let's give it a shot. So it doesn't look great, but it does what it's meant to do. So I'm going to analyze it. And there you go. So this is actually what came back from the analysis. Now this hasn't been formatted, but it is all there. And you can see it from the console as well. If you look at the console, you can actually go and look at the actual content. And here you go. So we have now created a relatively complex pipeline. And just to be sure, I guess we can also look at what's happening on in the database. Connect. Okay, I'm trying to connect to my MongoDB instance. Which doesn't seem to cooperate with me right now. Let's see if I can run it again. Oh, here it is. Let's refresh this search. And here you go. So it's here. It doesn't look great because I didn't format or anything. So what I'm more interested in is to see if there's any more than this. No, this is all of them. Okay, so you can see here that the document has the analysis and everything. Now this hasn't been formatted for JSON, and that's why it looks so clunky. But I'll leave that for you guys to explore. And so I will put this code online, and you can go and review it if you want. But this is one way that you can easily start putting things together so that they can cooperate to create a more complex application. Thank you. Bye.